Hi guys, we're back. I spent the whole morning prepping for what I wanted to do today. I've made 3 shorts. One of them was quite funny because today I wake up. Guys, it's the first day I've woke up where I haven't woke up to an attack. I haven't woke up to a bully's comment or a YouTube channel attacking me, insulting me, belittling me, some kind of assault on, Elvis does not need defending. We must not defend Elvis. Defending Elvis is hateful. Louis just attacks people because he wants to defend Elvis. The weird thing is now that it's not called defending Elvis anymore. Now you're not allowed to defend Elvis now. It's like, if you say anything that is negative, this is the new word now, the word negative, then you're a hater, you're an attacker. If in any way that you discuss defending Elvis, the man that we love, you're being negative. There's too much negativity in the Elvis world. There's too much drama. That's the new thing now. Don't you dare cause drama. If you stand up for Elvis, that is dramatic. If you try and defend something that has been said that is cruel or hurtful to Elvis's image and reputation, then you're a bad person. That's how ridiculous it is. That is how ridiculous it is that we are told off for defending, and the words they're using are hate, negative, drama, toxic. The Elvis world has gone toxic, as if the only reason there is drama in the Elvis world is because of Louis in the UK with his Defending Elvis channel. It's literally laughable. It's almost now become a sin to defend Elvis. You're a bad person. Unbelievable. Shocking. It's funny because recently we've caught out people lying, very well-known people lying, blatantly lying, and I've been proving it in my before and after type shorts that I've been doing. Obviously I did one yesterday. I think I might have done 2 yesterday. So this is the funny thing, is that we are perceived as the bad people. Louis, Defending Elvis, our movement, Team Elvis, call it what you want. But then they keep exposing themselves. So, Louis bad, Team Elvis, Defending Elvis, they're so bad, But then they keep tripping themselves up because they do things that are bad. For example, saying Elvis shagged me wife, lying about using the name Presley. You get it? So, I'm sorry, we're not the bad guys. We are just defending Elvis. We're standing up for him. Someone has to do it. Someone has to do it. It's that simple. If we don't do it, these people are going to run riot and say whatever they want, whenever they want, without reacting. So it was a breath of fresh air to wake up today. Because normally I'll wake up to a load of messages. Sometimes video clips, whatever it is. Emails, WhatsApp. I'll wake up to some pretty nasty things. Today, nothing. I woke up to nothing. We've had a bloody tough month, haven't we? We've had a flipping tough month. We have had attack after attack after attack after attack. And of course, you guys all know that the most recent falling out I've had with a YouTube channel was probably the most upsetting thing that has happened to me, to us, since starting my channel. Out of everything that has happened to me, falling out, disagreeing, the way I've been treated, the manipulation of those 2 videos that came out. I'm not even going to name the channel today. I don't feel like it. But the manipulation of those 2 videos to try and take away our right to be defenders, to portray the defenders as bad people, to to say that Elvis doesn't need defending. Even there were lies told as well. The truth is being twisted. This is what happens to Elvis, isn't it? Yeah, everything's being warped and changed to suit other people's needs, wants to benefit their way of making money. So today we are free as a bird, so we can get back to some topics. Because I know that we have done a lot of video reactions to all these people that are constantly at us, yeah. But we are an Elvis channel. We are an Elvis channel, so there's a lot of topics I want to go through that have nothing to do with these people, these bullies, these attackers, these call them what you want, trolls, fake Elvis fans, Elvis trasher fans, Elvis basher fans, call it what you want. We are an Elvis channel as well as a defending Elvis channel. So today, well, yesterday I managed to do a couple of topics that were much more Elvis related, yeah. And so today I want to do a couple. Today I definitely want to. We're going to now do Anita Wood's a review of the book. We're going to read a couple of love letters. I'm going to play a clip, and that's part one. I did want to review Presley Mania's Sandy Miller interview because I watched it last night. I thought it was really nice, yeah. So I wanted to do that, but I also want to get round to this book, June Junico, and do a bit of that as well. So we're going to try and get back to normal, but anything that gets thrown at us, if we get any more missiles thrown at us, get it? Yeah. If there's any bombs flying, we're going to have to react, yeah? So my advice to the people that are obsessed with Louis and defending Elvis and our channel and what we do, what we represent, the fact that we defend Elvis, leave us alone. You don't have to constantly talk about us wherever you go. Yeah. Okay, guys. Where are we? So let's play this clip. Just a little clip I found. Just a quick intro into a very, very basic intro. The channel is called Welcome to Elvis Presley World. I've used her clips before. This channel is pretty good. I quite enjoy this channel. The sound quality isn't the best, but just a little intro. So we're going to play a couple of videos, then I'm going to read a little bit of this book, just a bit of the intro of this book, Once Upon a Time with Elvis and Anita, written by her daughter, Juanita Brewer Barrett. As you know, guys, I'm a massive fan of Anita Wood, a massive fan. They had a beautiful romance. Unfortunately, you do see the romance unfold and things don't start to work out. I've always said Elvis, when he was with Anita, Elvis just wasn't ready to settle down, whether it be Priscilla or Anita or June Junico. He just wasn't ready. He had too much life to live, yeah. So especially because he was a rock and roll worldwide sensation, the best looking man on the planet, that would have been pretty frustrating. And temptation can be a strong thing, especially when you're in your 20s. I love Anita. I also feel sorry that she had her heart broken. So what can I say? Yeah, she was going out with Elvis Presley. I do think she was very beloved by Gladys and Vernon. I do think there was a high chance they could have got married. They'd even picked out names for kids once they got married. I do think Anita held out to marry Elvis. Yeah. So there was a point where you thought, yeah, they're definitely getting married. It's a sure thing. It really felt that way. Elvis going to Germany, I think changed everything. And not just because of Priscilla, because Elvis had other girlfriends in Germany. I just think when Elvis had that freedom from Anita, things changed. Obviously, if you read the love letters, it does show that when Elvis first went to to Germany, Bad Nauheim, after basic training. Don't forget he'd lost his mum, so we have to remember that, he lost his mum in 58. But my point is that the circumstances why Anita didn't go to Germany are complicated. Most people blame Colonel Tom Parker. I've always felt there's more to it. I've always felt Elvis, maybe initially when he went to Bad Nauheim, you can tell from the love letters, he really missed Anita Wood. But I actually think Elvis liked his bit of freedom, people try to make out as if Elvis was miserable in Bad Nauheim, when they rented that home. I think Lamar Fike and a few of the others were with him, weren't they? I think it was Minnie May with him. And you tell me who was with Elvis in the house in Bad Nauheim. Leave it in the comments. But I actually think once Elvis got used to it, because maybe initially he felt, lonely and away from everything. He was worried about his career and stuff, But I actually think Elvis got used to it and started to really enjoy his time in Germany. And Priscilla tries to make out as if he was miserable. Now, of course, he was devastated about the loss of his mum. He was still grieving, of course, and I'm sure Elvis would talk about it with Priscilla and other people, because Priscilla likes to make out as if he only spoke about how he felt in his heart concerning his mum, his career, how he felt alone in Germany. Priscilla likes to portray Elvis as if when he was in Germany he was really miserable and basically crying his eyes out constantly, and the only person he could speak to is Priscilla. I don't believe it. I do believe that he was heartbroken and grieving 100%, but I don't believe that she was the one, the only one that he could talk to. I also don't think Elvis was 24 hours a day depressed and gutted and miserable in Germany. I actually think Elvis had quite a good time in Germany. It's rumoured he had as many as 4 girlfriends. I also think Elvis enjoyed his taste of freedom because obviously he'd been with Anita for a few years. So, Elvis being a young, hot-blooded man, I actually think he started to get used to Anita being away, and so he could have his fun. He wasn't ready, guys, so he loved the ladies. Of course he did. He was a bloody good-looking man. Unfortunately for Anita, who I think was a very loyal girlfriend, a successful girl with her own career, a singer, a dancer. I think she had her own pop show, a bit of a radio DJ as well. Eventually she would be offered, I think, a Paramount movie contract as well, but she held off. She said no because she was hoping Elvis would one day marry her. So I'll tell you what, I've been looking through the pictures of this book, and whew, she is one sexy woman. Stunning, beautiful, sexy woman. So I love reading about when she talks about Elvis. Just how Elvis and her would just drive around in the car around Memphis, cruising. They'd go to the burger place, Crystal's is it? Or they'd get on the motorbike and she would put her arms around him and they'd ride around Memphis. I love it. I imagine myself there, the late 50s, early 60s. I'm like, cool, if only we could go back there and be there. Let's play this, guys. We're probably going to have to do it in part 1 and part 2. I don't like these shows to go more than an hour. I definitely want to read the letters. So what I probably want to do is part 1 is play some video clips, see a few interviews. Part 2, read some letters. This is my plan. Let's go.
Elvis Presley met Anita Wood in 1957.
Man I've ever seen before or after. I've never seen anybody as handsome as he. He was just very good looking, And then as I got to meet him and know him, he had a very good personality. Funny, pulling pranks and laughing.
And they started dating They dated seriously for 5 years, from 1957 to 1962. In December of 1957, Elvis got a draft notice and he was inducted into the Army in 1958. Now, this was shortly after Elvis and Anita started dating. And in 1959, Elvis met 14-year-old Priscilla in Germany.
No, this is a rare picture, guys. This is a rare picture. Yeah, I know Priscilla likes to make out as if, yeah, we were instant lovers and we were together from age 14, 1959, until the day they divorced in 1973. It's bullshit. They had a brief friendship. We don't really know what went on, do we? Yeah, Elvis had other girlfriends. He was still with Anita Wood. And then once Elvis, 5 or 6 months after this brief friendship, Elvis goes back to his career. Obviously, he does the Frank Sinatra show. He does some albums for RCA. He makes GI Blues. The train journey back from Germany, I think there's a lot of video footage that shows it. Some interviews as well, I think. Yeah. Elvis doesn't see Priscilla for 2 years and 3 months after he leaves Germany. Yeah. So, Priscilla likes to make out as if they were together all the time, every day, and when they weren't together, he was on the phone to her constantly. They were writing to each other constantly and sending records to each other. I think she exaggerates. I think she wants us to believe that they have this beautiful, close romance for 6 months in Germany. I'm not convinced. But I do accept there was a closeness. There was a friendship in Germany, in Bad Nauheim. She could speak English, obviously that would have appealed. But she makes more of it. I believe she really tries to recreate a beautiful romance where everything was amazing. I don't think it was as simple as that. I think Elvis was seeing other girls as well. Yeah. Put the names of the girls Elvis was seeing in Germany in the comments, please, guys.
A party. And they began to date. They dated and hung out the whole time that Elvis was in Germany. And on March 5th of 1960, Elvis Presley was released from active duty, and he went home to Memphis and returned to civilian life. And he resumed his relationship with Anita Wood.
So let's have a look. Anita Wood was Elvis's steady and closest female from 1957 until they stopped dating in 62. They consistently denied wedding plans. Yeah, so they were going to get married, guys. It was very much on the cards. But I think Anita Wood 100% thought they were getting married. So look at it, guys. Elvis is still dating Anita Wood up until 1962. Doesn't that tell you something? So if Elvis meets Priscilla in 1959, Priscilla tries to make out as if, yeah, me and Elvis, I was the love of his life, he was the love of my life, we were so happy, we had a beautiful romance, I was with him from age 14. Nah, there we go. So in 1962, Elvis was still with Anita Wood. Doesn't that tell you something? So 3 years after, not far off 3 years after they met, 2 to 3 years, Elvis is still with Anita Wood. And it's known that he was also had seen other girls. It's known even in Germany in 59 there were other girls. I think one of them was the secretary. Was her name Stefanik? Something like that. You put it in the comments. There's another book out as well, isn't there? Of a girl that Elvis was dating in Germany. I'm trying to remember the name of the book. I think Elaine told me about it. She sent me parts of the book. So there's always more to it. This is the where Elvis loses out, because people can talk about Elvis, say whatever they want, recreate history, recreate the storyline, the narrative. Priscilla does this. Many people do this. Come on, guys, the Smiths, the Stanleys, they all do it. They recreate their version of everything, and then they call it fact, they call it truth. But Elvis isn't here to go, you've got that wrong. Elvis isn't here to challenge them and say, that never happened. Yeah. So history has been rewritten by many different sources. Yeah. And so we're talking about Priscilla now. are told that Priscilla had this beautiful romance with Elvis from 1959 to 1973. Not true. In 62, Elvis was still seeing Anita Wood. So that was nearly 3 years after they met. Yeah? So, you get it? We keep catching people out lying. Recently, I've caught people lying about Elvis history. Yeah? So, as I keep saying, Elvis is not here to defend himself. So that is where we come in. Louis, Team Elvis, Elvis fans around the world, Team Elvis. Get it? So let's keep going.
But Elvis also stayed in touch with Priscilla through mail and phone calls. Well,
I'm not saying she didn't. Where's the book? Let me get Priscilla's book. 1 second. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm not saying that they didn't keep in touch. They probably did. Yeah, in fact, almost definitely they did. Whether it be love letters, sending each other records, or phone calls. Yeah, it's all part of the fake fairy tale. I've always said it. Priscilla and Elvis's relationship. There was a lot of it that was fake, but I also accept there was some of it that was very genuine. Come on, let's face it, guys. Priscilla and Elvis did have a romance. Yeah. They probably had some happy times, some romantic times. Obviously Priscilla getting pregnant and them having this beautiful child, Lisa Marie. It sounds lovely, doesn't it? So, Elvis and Priscilla, then they get married in May the 1st, 67, and then 9 months later, Lisa Marie comes along. It sounds lovely. But then you find out that she was unfaithful months after Lisa Marie was born. Then it's not so lovely, is it? So, we always have to question everything. Okay, let's keep going, guys.
One day, Anita Wood found one of Priscilla's letters, and this is what it said. Please call my dad. I want to come over there. And if you call my dad, I know he will let me come. He will listen to you. I miss you. Well, Anita got very upset.
Well, I bet she missed him. Come on, the best looking man on the planet. But, I always have put my defending Elvis head on. You think about it, guys. Yeah? I mean, look how beautiful Anita Wood looks in this picture. She's so beautiful. Right? But Elvis looks very serious there. Like, yeah. And have they just had? It looks like they just had an argument. Seriously, have a good look. It looks like they've just had an argument. But let me just play that bit so I can just. Right, here we go.
I miss you. Well, Anita got very upset with Elvis.
So, of course, she missed him. Yeah, I know Priscilla was a beautiful young lady. Yeah, we've all heard the child bride version of things, where the whole thing was a setup. That the thing in the Eagles Club wasn't as written in the book, the 1985 book. That Cary Grant approached her, and it was all meant to be. Then the romance blossomed. Child Bride says something very different. Child Bride says the whole thing was pre-set up, and that Priscilla planned to approach Cary Grant at the Eagles Club and say to him, can you introduce me to Elvis? Because she had found out he knew Elvis. So, yeah, some say it was even pre-planned before that. When Priscilla was in America with her parents, she found out they were going to be stationed near where Elvis was, yeah, and that it was planned even further back. Who knows, guys? Who knows? The conspiracy theories keep changing. So the point I'm trying to say is there's so much more to the story. Yeah, Priscilla was living with her parents. Yeah, and so Elvis, you think they have this brief friendship? It could have been 5 or 6 months. They go back. Yes, they probably were writing letters and sending records, and maybe there was the odd phone call, but there was a very long gap, and Elvis was clearly seeing other women and Anita Wood. So you think about Priscilla's choices. I stay here in Germany, living in a very basic home, in Germany, what do you call them? 2 up, 2 down homes, I call them in England. A very simple life, yeah? I had this brief sort of friendship with Elvis, the most famous man on the planet. best looking, sexiest man ever born, beautifully talented as well. Or I keep phoning, sending letters, sending records, nagging Elvis to ring her, yeah? Nagging Elvis, can I come over? Can I come over? Come on, if you ring my parents up, they may let me. So a couple of years later, 2 or 3 years later, this is still going on, because many think that Priscilla really pushed hard for Elvis to get it on, yeah, to get her over to America, to get her into Gracelands, to get her so she could at least visit, which then blossomed, yeah. They had a romance, come on guys, when she was nearly 18, it's obvious. But even then, Elvis was seeing other people, Elvis was living as a single man. Even when Priscilla does make it over, Elvis is living as a single man, yeah. Priscilla knew what she was getting into, yeah. She was moving into a home, Gracelands. Obviously, she stayed with Vernon and Dee at first, and the education was very important to Priscilla's parents, yeah. But the truth is, he was not ready to settle down or have a family, and he was not ready to be with just one woman. So I think Elvis did sort of make it. How can I say it? How can I word it correctly? I think it was a sort of unsaid thing. You can come over, stay with my parents, we'll do your education. Yes, we'll be romantic, but I have my own life as well. I have another life that we don't talk about. And that was, I think Priscilla accepted that at first. In fact, I've seen a couple of interviews, sorry, where she sort of says, oh, I wasn't prepared to stick with the plan, you know. She changed her mind. Initially, she went over like sort of accepting, you know, he's a rock and roll star. But I think Priscilla started to change, and I also think Priscilla, once she got a taste of glamour, of celebrity lifestyle, she wanted it. Honestly, I really believe that once Priscilla had a taste for proper fame, money, luxury, beautiful home, beautiful cars, all that kind of stuff, she wanted it. She wanted it. I personally think secretly she really envied Elvis. She wanted to have what he had. Now, it's not straightforward for her because she couldn't sing. She couldn't act. She was beautiful, I'll give her that. You know, that I do think the general public around the world had completely fallen for this romantic thing between Elvis and Priscilla. You know, the fake fairy tale. Is there a picture here? I know you've heard me say it loads of times. Let's see if I can find an old picture. I really think that this iconic image of Elvis and Priscilla together. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let me just see if I can see it. I think for the people that hadn't really done their homework, you know, they look stunning. Priscilla is a very beautiful woman. She definitely was back then. But I also think that iconic black and white image of them together, whether it be at the wedding or before the wedding and after the wedding, even with them holding Lisa Marie, there's some very pretty, beautiful pictures and video footage. So I do think that the general public that don't do their homework and look beneath the surface were completely convinced with the fake fairy tale of Priscilla that it only went wrong because Elvis had a problem with prescription medication, had a temper and was unfaithful. We know as Elvis fans that there's so much more to it. We know that Priscilla was very unfaithful, yeah, that Priscilla had her eye on fame and fortune as well. So there's more to it. I personally think, and I've seen a few interviews now, that Elvis started to know the true Priscilla, started to understand her game, her plan. I think Elvis eventually realised that she had a very cold heart and in some ways not capable of love, proper love. And I think, you know, I've seen a few interviews now that say this. I also think if you understand the truth with Cary Grant, the guy who allegedly introduced Priscilla to Elvis, things are different. I've seen a Joe Esposito interview where he says, oh yeah, Cary Grant, Priscilla had approached him and asked him to introduce her to Elvis. I think there was 2 people I've seen say it now in interviews. Well, that's completely the opposite of what Priscilla tries to portray. She tries to say, oh no, Cary Grant came over to me in the Eagles Club and asked me, do you want to meet Elvis? Yeah. Don't forget, the story's changed a bit now. Now she says we were in the Eagles Club. Priscilla says I was crying into my diary because I was missing my friends back home, and Cary Grant said, you know, I can introduce you to Elvis. You know, do you like Elvis type things. So guys, there's much more to it. We must always read between the lines, outside of the box. We must question everything, and not just with Priscilla, with all family members, with all Memphis Mafia, with everyone. Everything must be questioned, challenged. Yeah. So I'm waffling on a bit, aren't I, guys? But let's keep listening to. I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. This is why our channel is called Defending Elvis, because we think outside the box. Okay, let's keep going.
Elvis. So when he came home, Anita confronted Elvis and told him, what is this letter? Who is this? This Priscilla? You said she was just a child. Listen to what Anita Wood said when she told Elvis about the letter.
He came home from the set that day. Then that's when I asked him about the letter. And in the letter it said, please call my dad. I want to come over there. And if you call my dad, I know he will let me come. He will listen to you. I miss you. I want to come bad. Just come on like that. You know? So when he came in, I said, what is this letter? Who is this? This Priscilla?
I love her accent, guys. I love her accent. You can tell she's a little bit, I don't know what the right word is. She's a bit annoyed, yeah? You can see the emotion. This is coming from the heart. This is what happened, guys, yeah?
He said she was just a child. He got so mad because I found the letter. He took me and he shoved me up against the closet. So mad at me, just livid.
So don't forget, Donna Presley has said she would go up into Elvis's room, and they, whilst they were in there looking in some drawers and stuff, Anita Wood found a picture of Elvis. She's done a video of it on her Donna Presley official YouTube channel. Go and watch it, guys. She was very close with Anita Wood, even though Donna was younger, obviously, still a child. Anita Wood made time for Donna Presley, yeah. Don't forget, Donna lived at Graceland, yeah. People try and dismiss her, but she did. Yes, obviously in the house behind, in the mobile home, whatever they call them. But she did spend a lot of time in Graceland, yeah. Her parents were there as well. Don't forget, Donna's parents were at Graceland, yeah. But Donna just does say that Anita Wood took time to have a friendship with Donna, even though she was much younger. Yeah. Okay. So we've heard the story that they find a picture of Priscilla Presley in the drawer. Anita Wood rips it up, and then Donna says, "Oh, why have you ripped it up?" And then Anita says, "I want him to know that I found it. I want Elvis to know that I found it." So an interesting story that we wouldn't know about if it wasn't for Donna Presley. This was only told weeks ago. Yeah, so let's keep going.
And as I was coming down the back stairs into the kitchen, I heard Elvis say, I'm having the hardest time making up my mind between the two.
You see how she shuts her eyes there? She's saying it clearly from memory. I think I love that. It's important to me, because whenever anyone's talking about Elvis, I want to see. I'm looking for truth. I'm looking at their face, their eyes, their body language, the tone in the voice, how they're saying it. Is this truth? Because I honestly, guys, being a defending Elvis person, it's like being a detective. Yeah, you question everything. Yeah, it's like we had this recent thing with Billy Stanley where he's like, oh yeah, Elvis wanted me to use the Presley name. But then I find an interview from Billy Smith and Joe Smith saying, oh no, there's no way Elvis would have wanted the Stanley brothers to use the Presley name. Yeah, always question everything. It's like when Billy Stanley said, you know, he has a little dig at Donna Presley. Oh, she shouldn't be using that name. That's not nice to her parents. Why is she using the Presley name to prove who she is? You get it? But then we find out that Billy Stanley himself had changed his name in the 90s to Presley, his last name, and he says it himself from his own words on a YouTube interview from those Elvis girls. Is it those Elvis girls? So guys, sometimes people lie, sometimes people hide things, sometimes people exaggerate and twist the truth. We question everything, and same goes for the Smiths, Priscilla, or the Memphis Mafia. Don't take it for gospel, the things they say. Question it. Yeah, Elvis deserves that we are trying to get closer to the truth. Elvis deserves that because he can't defend himself. And this is what upset Lisa Marie so much, that people are twisting, lying, exaggerating, or they're sharing private details, private things that should have stayed private. This is why she was infuriated, why she would say, I hope they rot in hell. This is why they were cut off from Gracelands. Get it? So when I look at this, I'm like, when I look at this interview, you look at her, you can clearly see that Anita Wood here is speaking truth from the heart. I think you can. You tell me, do you think you can tell that Anita Wood is telling the truth here? Yeah, I do.
I'm having the hardest time making up my mind between the two. And so I just marched my little self right down those stairs.
So when she says, I'm having the hardest time, yeah? When she closes her eyes and shakes her head, she's remembering it. She's remembering walking down those stairs and hearing Elvis and Vernon having this conversation. That to me is as genuine as it gets.
And Elvis took me into the dining room and we sat down at the table and I said, I'm going to make that decision for you. I heard what you said and I am leaving.
And you can imagine being there. You could, yeah. Look at even now. Look at her, the look on her eyes. Yeah, you know she's starry-eyed, isn't she? She's deadly serious. Because to her, it happened yesterday. Yeah, even though it was decades previous. Yeah, the consequences of Anita Wood standing her ground. Obviously, a very proud woman. Elvis was her first proper lover. Yeah. I don't even know if I don't think they even ever made love, guys. Honestly, there's a possibility. It's a bit too much information. I actually don't know, but Anita Wood literally completely dedicated herself to Elvis. You know, she had a massive career. She didn't need his money. She was famous in her own right. Yeah, she had a brilliant career, a great life. Yeah, she one of the most beautiful women ever, a very, very, very talented woman. Yeah, she held out for Elvis. It didn't pay off for her. You know, she didn't want his money. She loved his family. Yeah, she was loved by his family. Yeah, very close to Gladys and Vernon. Yeah, so in a weird way, I'm a bit gutted. But let's listen to that bit again. Yeah. You come on, guys. You really look at her face and the way she expresses this. It's actually a little bit heartbreaking. Yeah. Guys, that's nothing. When you start reading the book and the love letters, whoa, you're going to be crying your eyes out. Yeah. So let's keep going.
I heard what you said, and I am leaving.
I heard what you said, and I am leaving. Yeah. I wonder if she regrets it. Does she? I know she went on to have her own life, a good life. Does she regret it? Did she regret it? Did Elvis regret it? Because from what I know, when I read the book, he started crying and was asking her not to go. Yeah. So Do you think Elvis regretted what happened? Do you think Elvis wishes he stayed with Anita Wood? What could have been? Obviously, they would have married, had kids. But you have to remember, he was in his 20s. He loved the ladies. He had his whole career in front of him. He wasn't ready for marriage. He wasn't ready for kids. Priscilla is one of the people, one of many, that he liked. Put it in the comments. Do you think Elvis regrets the breakup from Anita Wood, that she walked off? Do you think Anita Wood regrets it? So put it in the comments, guys.
And I remember that I started crying. It was a very difficult decision to make. And I was crying.
Whew, I bet it was.
And Elvis was crying.
And you can imagine them both crying. You can imagine, I put myself there. I can teleport myself right in that moment. I think we all can. Can't we all feel it? Do you feel it? I feel it, yeah. This was a heartbreaking moment for both of them. And I would say both of them, it took many, many months to get over this. And I also say it was a big mistake, because Priscilla was a bad choice. Yeah. As we now know, Priscilla was capable of some pretty dastardly things. Priscilla being unfaithful to Elvis months after the baby was born, Lisa Marie. Shocking. But I also understand Elvis was no angel. Elvis also made mistakes. He wasn't ready. He
just said, I pray to God I'm doing the right thing by letting you go.
Whew. Wow. So let's just play a couple more clips, and then we're going to come back to a part 2. We're going to try and read these letters. What is here? Anita Wood has come out with a secret that Elvis told Anita. Okay. So I don't know what this is. This is the first time I've heard this. Right, so I have to read it. Right. Anita Wood was the only woman that Elvis had dated that his mother Gladys really liked. Gladys went so far as to tell Elvis to marry her and give her grandkids. Elvis and Anita dated for 5 years, from 57 to 62. Now, is that correct? Because did Gladys, I'm trying to remember now, but this is obviously June Junico's book, yeah? I'm sure that, didn't Gladys meet June Junico? Let's have a look. Let me just see if there's any pictures. Obviously we've got these. Let me just do this so we can. Let me get you up, guys, so I can. There's some lovely pictures of Elvis and June Junico. Yeah, obviously I wanna. We know about the romance in Biloxi, the fishing trips. There was a couple of there's some lovely videos, colour videos. I think we're going to do that as our next topic as well, because I'm a massive fan of June Junico. Yeah, another one that is just so beautiful. But I'm sure that she met Gladys. Let's have a look. I can't see a picture of. Oh, there's a few more really nice pictures here. But I'm pretty sure, you know me, I'm not a researcher, guys. I get my facts wrong. But I'm pretty sure Elvis had his little couple of month romance with June Junico in 56. Yeah, it says it here. Elvis, the summer of 56. Yeah? So we're going to do that next, okay? This is going to take a couple of shows. And then I think we're going to move on to June Junico. So, another beauty. I completely get why Elvis liked June Junico. Let me read this clip, guys. So, Anita Wood was the only woman that Elvis had dated, and that, let's have a look, his mother Gladys liked and went so far to tell Elvis to marry her and give her grandkids. Elvis and Anita dated for 5 years. Yeah, so I think we all know this, but put it in the comments. Do you think Anita Wood was the only girl that Gladys liked? I would say, I would go out on a limb and say she was probably the favourite. I'd say that. But you put it in the comments. You tell me. Remember, I am not a researcher. I do get my facts wrong, okay? Oh, the music is heartbreaking. So during that time, Anita dated Elvis. During the time Anita dated Elvis, Elvis confided in her. When Elvis's mother died in '58, Anita was there with him to comfort him, because Elvis took her death extremely hard. Elvis never got over losing Gladys. That's bloody true, yeah. And what, guys, what a lovely picture as well. Beautiful picture, that is. Oh, I'm going to get tearful. This is the music is. Whew. Look, another heartbreaking picture, yeah. Anita said when we pulled up to Graceland, in front of the house, Elvis and his dad were sitting on the front steps, and Elvis was just crying. It was so sad, and his daddy was crying. And I got out of the car and rained. And I got out of the car and rained. Little, I lost her. All right, okay. He's calling out to Anita. I've lost her, crying. And he said, come on in, I want to see you. So he called her little, didn't he? I mean, that picture. See, that picture. You know, there's no faking, is there? This is what I'm trying to say. I can tell the people that are just making things up. I get a good instinct for it, a good feeling for it. And I'll tell you now, there are many people that were very close to Elvis, friends and family. I see straight through their lies. I see through their fake body language, the fake look in their eyes. I know when they're making things up. I know when they think we're gullible and naive. They think that the Elvis fans are stupid. Sometimes they think we're like, they underestimate us. Yeah, we have a better instinct. You know, I can tell to all you people out there close to Elvis that were once close to Elvis. I see through you. I see through the lies. But let's keep going. So, what's that picture? Let's have a look. It's hard. I mean, that's the hard. I've never seen that picture before. Honestly, that picture is the first time I've ever seen it. That's not Gladys, is it? I've never seen that picture before. Anyway, as I said, no, I don't think I want to go there. He said, yes, little, she loved you, and I want you to come in and there, and I want you to see her. You just got to come in here to see her. She was in the music room. I didn't know that, and I was just a little bit squeamish about that. Never having seen a corpse before or anything, because I did love her. She was just really sweet lady. She showed me a great deal of affection. So I'm not sure about that picture. Is that a genuine picture? No, it's obviously is a genuine picture, but put it in the comments, guys, because I'm a bit unsure about that picture. Elvis is clearly holding the hand of a lady that could be Gladys. I don't know, guys. 1 second, guys. Let me just. Did that change the writing? No. Okay, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Okay. Right, here goes. Obviously, that's D. Stanley, isn't it? Oh my God, the D. Stanley topic. I try and avoid the D. Stanley stuff because I'm so upset with what she said about poor Elvis and Gladys. You know, Elvis' father, Vernon Presley, met a lady while in Germany with Elvis. Her name is D. Stanley. In 1960, Vernon married D. Elvis was very upset with his father because it was less than 2 years that Gladys died. He told his dad that it was too soon for him to get married. Elvis did not attend the wedding. I repeat, Elvis did not attend the wedding. You know, the whole D. Stanley thing, guys, there's a lot more to it. I watched the Billy Smith interview yesterday that was sent, an old one, it's a couple of years old, where Billy and Joe say that Elvis liked D. Stanley. Maybe I'll play it for you. I repeat, a Billy Smith and Joe Smith interview. Crystal clear. They say, Billy and Joe Smith say Elvis liked D. Stanley. See? So, I think generally the Elvis fans pretty much know that Elvis was not happy with them getting married. The other thing I watched yesterday was, yes, Elvis was very welcoming and friendly, and he wanted to support D. Stanley's 3 kids, you know, Ricky, Dave and Billy, the Stanleys, yeah. But he made it very clear, yes, I care for them, I will help them and look after them, but they're not. I won't adopt them, and they won't use my Presley name. I played this yesterday. You'll see it. Yeah. So, you know, then Billy Stanley does an interview with those Elvis girls saying, oh yeah, Elvis wanted me to use the Presley name. It's just not true. It's just not true, because I have now proved, because Billy and Joe Smith said that Elvis would never have wanted them to use the name Presley. But then Billy Stanley says Elvis did want him to. We've now found out that Billy Stanley had his name changed to Presley in the latter part of the 90s. So question everything, guys. Question everything. But I actually think Elvis not attending the wedding is a massive thing. Massive. To not attend the wedding of his own father clearly shows us he didn't like that his father was marrying D. Stanley. 100%. 100%. So Anita Wood's daughter has come out and shared a secret that her mother told about Elvis and D. Stanley. Listen to this clip. So we're going to hear a secret, yeah? I mean, I've never watched this before. Let's keep going.
Elvis told Mama when he came back from Germany that...
So this is Anita Wood's daughter, Juanita, yeah?
D. Stanley was a woman that came to his place where he was staying in Germany and hit on him. And when he did...
And I've heard this many times, guys. It's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it, this? It's based on what we were talking about yesterday. 1 second. Hello? Okay, forget that. Right, it's a bit of a coincidence. We've been talking about the Stanleys yesterday, and recently we've had a disagreement, really. But Billy Stanley has said that Elvis doesn't need defending. That the only people that have the right to talk about Elvis are the people that were close to him, that grew up with him, that were related to him. Yeah. So, and then this is being discussed. Now, I didn't know the Stanleys were going to be brought up in this video. This has just come out of the blue, guys.
Didn't reciprocate anything. She went after his daddy. and he did not like her at all.
So I've heard this many times, that Dee Stanley initially wanted Elvis. Elvis was not interested. He rejected her. And then Vernon was the next best thing. That's going to upset Billy Stanley. This came up with, I didn't even know this was going to come up, yeah. But many Elvis fans have messaged me and said this. Have said that Dee Stanley wanted Elvis at first, but then went on to Vernon. Right, let's just read that bit first. In an article in Express, it reads, Elvis Presley did not attend his father's wedding. In 1960, Vernon Stanley married Elvis, declined to attend the wedding. He told Vernon that he didn't want to take attention away from Stanley on her wedding day. In reality, though, he didn't want to attend the ceremony when it caused him so much pain. Guys, come on. It's your dad. You're going to attend, aren't you? So Elvis obviously, clearly was not happy with them getting married. You know, just my opinion for entertainment purposes, but... The day after the wedding ceremony, Elvis went to the cemetery to pray at his mother's grave. Despite this, he only spoke positively about Vernon and Stanley in public. Elvis Presley felt his father betrayed him by getting married. Not long after Gladys Presley's death, Vernon began a relationship with Stanley. Elvis had been close with his mother and couldn't believe his father wanted to remarry. He began to doubt Stanley's intentions. But you know what? Extremely interesting. Extremely interesting. You know, put it in the comments, guys. What do you feel about the whole Dee Stanley, Vernon, and Elvis, the triangle? What do you think? I'm going to just play a couple more little clips, and then we are going to stop and do it on part 2. I want to read the love letters. This just took longer than I thought, guys. What is this? Anita was the woman Elvis loved but couldn't save. Ooh, what does that mean? Let's have a look. Anita was the woman Elvis loved but couldn't save. There were a couple of fans dreamed of Elvis, called her his wife, even though there was no ring. They were young and in love, open with their feelings. But when Elvis went to the army, his manager decided there was no place for love in show business. So obviously they're blaming Colonel Tom Parker for her not going to Germany. He called Anita and said he's a star, he has to be alone. She didn't argue, she just let go. Elvis came back in a different man and already with Priscilla and never married. Well, that isn't true. Elvis came back, carried on seeing her for a couple of years, so that's incorrect. So when he died, she came to his grave as not as a fan, but as someone he truly loved. Oh yeah, he truly loved Anita. I fully agree with that. Is this some old footage? Yeah. I'm going to have to turn the music off, guys, because let's just have a look at the footage. Beautiful. Just see you can see it. Sorry, it's a bit small, but we've all seen this, haven't we? We've all seen this. there's a whole story about this home, isn't there? Elvis had befriended this family, and this is where I think the footage was filmed. I think, yeah, you know, guys, I do get my facts wrong. What is this? Anita Wood was very upset with Priscilla Presley. Is this? Let me just play it. Have we played this or not?
Year-old Priscilla. Elvis and Priscilla started seeing each other often until Elvis was released from the army in 1960, and he went back home to Graceland to Memphis. But Priscilla wrote letters to Elvis, and the letters were always in a bright pink envelope. That way Elvis would know it was Priscilla's letters from all the others. And they would call each other often, so they did stay in contact. And Elvis brought Priscilla to
Do you know what? We don't actually know how often they called each other too. We don't really know.
Las Vegas for vacation. In 1962, Anita Wood and Elvis were living together at Graceland until Anita Wood walked down the stairway to the kitchen at Graceland and overheard Elvis talking to his father about he didn't know what to do. He didn't know who to choose, Priscilla or Anita. Well, Anita made that decision right away for Elvis.
So guys, we've already heard this, but I may as well play it out. Yeah, it's obviously this YouTube channel's covering the same thing. So it turns out this this video we've just made now is about Anita and Elvis. It's also about Priscilla and Elvis, and it's about the Stanleys, hasn't it? So in the end, we've had this is all unfolded. I didn't even predict this. Yeah. So it's a coincidence that the Stanleys have been brought up because obviously we've had our disagreement. We had this situation where Billy Stanley clearly has a go at Louis and says that Elvis doesn't need defending, says that you can only talk about Elvis if you knew him, you know, so has a little dig at Donna Presley. So, is this meant to be, guys? Is this fate? Yeah. Anyway, but please remember, when I discuss people that I disagree with their opinions, I don't hate them. I don't hate Billy Stanley. Not 1 ounce of me hates Billy Stanley. I just have different views than him. I disagree with him. And I'm defensive when I'm being discussed on another YouTube channel in a negative way. I defend myself. And I'm sure it works both ways. If I discuss him, I think he was unhappy about me mentioning the fact he was in a picture with Dave Hebler. It works both ways. Yeah, I understand that. If I criticize him, he's not going to like it. If he criticizes Louis and our movement defending Elvis and says Elvis doesn't need defending, I'm not going to like it. So we're sort of at each other, aren't we? Yeah. Same goes for the Smiths. You know, I criticize them, they criticize me. We go back and forth. We're all pretty used to it now, aren't we? It's all part of the Elvis dramatic world that we live in. But what are we really trying to do? We're trying to get to truth so we can defend Elvis. Yeah. And defend Elvis on behalf of Lisa as well. Yeah, because Lisa Marie had to listen to it all. So I'll let this play out, and we're going to come back with a part 2, still staying on the topic of Once Upon a Time, Elvis and Anita, and I want to read the love letters. Yeah, so let's see if we can get to that on part 2. Okay, guys?
And she left Graceland, not to return, but heartbroken. So Anita Wood blamed Priscilla for her breakup with Elvis. Listen to this clip.
Would allow a 16-year-old to travel 5,000 miles to go see a movie star.
Oh, should we let her go? If we don't
Well, she was 17, but let's keep going.
let her go, what's going to happen? She'll always accuse us of ruining her life.
And we're going to consider your feelings.
I said, you're ruining my life, you know, and made me think a little bit, and I said, please talk to Dad, and, you know, help me, because he was calling a lot, and, you know, it had already been 2 years.
It was hard to be.
But, you know, was he calling a lot? I'm not saying he wasn't, but I'd like to prove it.
He didn't know what was going on.
So there was these continuous calls, and I was just very convincing to my parents and saying, I'll take good care of her, please let her come.
You sometimes think that this is it. You'll never find another one, you know. But remember at that time, too, girls and boys were getting married at, say, 17, 18, 19, and 20, and God forbid that a girl should go as old as 25 and not be married.
It's true, guys. It's true. And you know, different times, people married a lot younger. Yeah. Like Billy Smith married Joe Smith when she was 15. I think he was 18. So it is very different times. Yeah. Even Elvis having a friendship with a much younger girl was pretty normal in the 50s. We don't accept it now in 2025, but in the 50s, 60s, even 70s, yeah, to be married, even the 80s. When I grew up in the 80s, marrying a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, 18-year-old was quite normal, yeah, quite normal, yeah. So 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it was a different time. It was a different time. Okay, guys, very interesting, very interesting. So I really enjoyed this. And, you know, if I don't have to keep reacting to people talking about me, talking about our group defending Elvis, trying to take away our right to be defenders, to stand up for Elvis, to challenge the people that trash Elvis, that tell lies about him, twist the truth, or share private details about him, then we can get on with these topics. But obviously every topic I do will always have a defending aspect to it, because I come from defending, yeah. So even when we can discuss any topic. I've got all these books all around me, all different things, but there will always be a hint of defending coming through, because that is what we are about, even though we are also an Elvis channel, yeah. So anyway, guys, I really enjoyed this, really enjoyed it, yeah. We've done, I'm just looking now, 1 hour and 6 minutes. I wasn't expecting it to go this long, and we've only done part 1. So much more to come, guys. I really like this. I hope you did as well. Sorry about the quality of the laptop, and the sound is a bit echoey. The new laptop will be coming back soon. So I think we're only going to have to put up with this quality for probably a week, and then things should go back to normal. Take care, guys. Love you all. I'm also hoping to do a dog walk and go live on a dog walk as well. So what I might do is go on a dog walk, listen to this, and come back and do part 2. So maybe in an hour or so we can have part 2. Take care, guys. I'm going to upload this live in the and we will be live in the comment section, so I can join you. Yeah. So please join our Defending Elvis Facebook page. There is a 24-hour chat on that as well. So to any new members, thank you for joining. To the new members, take care, guys.